Robot. I wonder if you could have a robot GP. That wouldn't work, would it? Robots are great at doing the jobs that are too dangerous, dull or dirty for human workers. But according to some predictions, they are going to replace people in a third of jobs in the UK by the year 2030.
So, who should be worried by the rise of the machines? Should we be worried at all? Breakfast Tim Muffet is getting a glimpse of the future from the London Science Museum. Morning.
Yes, good morning to you. You mentioned robot GPs. Well, actually, robot surgeons do exist. They are used in surgery. The implications of advances in robotics are huge, and this exhibition at London Science Museum explores our relationship with robots. What kind of things can they do which we can't do? Take a look at Amico. Amico is from Italy and is an expert at precision engineering. A threat to jobs, yes, but can Amico do some jobs better than humans? A big, big question. And you might think of robots as being a modern-day phenomenon. The word itself is about 100 years old, but the concept is far older. Let's have a quick introduction to Reem. Reem is from Spain, and Reem is going to explain her view on what robots actually are. Meanwhile, at this exhibition, I've been taking a look around and seeing beyond 100 years, 500 years ago, the first concept of robots began.
There's at least 500 years of people reinventing ourselves as machines, building robots.
Some here are so old they can no longer be moved.
These are robots, they're medieval robots. They had these sort of tremendous religious connotations. People were fascinated by these machines that prayed.
But only in the 20th century did robots, as we think of them today, appear.
Big companies always tend to build a robot, a humanoid robot, to show off their technological capabilities. They're always associated with a very state-of-the-art of technology.
I'm a sophisticated combination of hardware and software designed to interact with humans.
I thought that was the best paper airplane I saw made from a robot.
We often think of robots as having a human-like appearance, but that specifically is what an android is. Robots are not defined by their shape.
If we want robots to move out of factories into homes and schools and all those sorts of places, what's the best way for that to happen? In the UK, if you have a robot which is ultra-lifelike with human hair and eyebrows and that sort of thing, people tend to go, "Ooh, crikey, don't know if we like that."
Whatever their appearance, the impact of robots on the workplace has been profound.
We are doing things fundamentally differently to how they've been done in the past.
Associate Professor of Machine Learning Michael Osborne has been assessing it.
So we found that 35% of current UK employment is at high risk of being replaced by a robot or similar technology by the year 2030. Those in the transportation industry, so that would include truck drivers, taxi drivers, processing of things like invoices and receipts. Robots are also being used for things as advanced as surgery these days. The pace of change has been dizzying.
But some robots do things people won't or can't do. The snake arm robots made by this Bristol company can inspect and maintain restricted, hazardous places, nuclear reactors for example, or aircraft wings like this.
It's following a path that's curved, that's very much smaller than a human arm in cross-section, and it goes around bends that you simply couldn't get your elbow around. Robots are going to be doing more and more tasks. We shouldn't fear them, we should embrace them, make use of them.
For better or for worse, the rise of the robots seems unstoppable.
Delighted to be joined this morning by Sabine, who's a lecturer in robotics from Bristol University, also the president of RoboHub as well. Sabine, should we fear the impact of robots on our workplace?
I think there's a lot of potential for robotics to change, and I'm hoping improve the way in which we work, the way we live, and the way in which we explore new frontiers. And it's important to remember that making a robot is very difficult, and as a result, most of us are really focusing on robots that perform specific tasks. So it's really about tasks, not jobs. And so think of it as a helper, and where would you want help in your daily life?
Sure, well let's have a quick look around some of these other robots here. I mean, they're very impressive, aren't they? But could this robot here, the Robo-Thespian, I mean, you're never going to replace actors, are you?
We actually have a Robo-Thespians at the Bristol Robotics Laboratory. This is a humanoid, and there's a lot of different shapes and forms to robots. Most actually aren't humanoids if you look at the specific functions that they're trying to achieve. So the things that are shorter term are things like agriculture, things like medical robotics, things like robots that can help us be more productive. And those don't necessarily look like humanoids, but they are quite exciting in terms of getting people into the fields.
So is it the fear of robots which is the problem? And do you think that we should actually just be excited by them and the opportunities they allow?
I think there's a lot of hype, there's a lot of misinformation. What I like with this exhibit is it allows people to interact with robots, and that gives them a real feel for what these robots can do today and what they currently can't do. I think we also need to listen to the public's concern, and so there's been a lot of efforts around the world to start to think, okay, what does the public actually want with this technology so that we can design in that direction.
Let's come over this way, because Louise, down, I've got something to show you. This, don't want to get you worried or anything, but this is a robot newsreader, just saying, no areas of the workplace, it seems, are completely free from the threat, if it is indeed a threat, of the impacts robots could have. Very lifelike, I think you'll agree.
Yeah.
Come on, can she say the news, travel and weather wherever you are, can she?
Hasn't been programmed quite with that yet, I'm afraid, but we'll work on it.
Well, I'm safe for the moment. Thanks very much, Tim.
She's also got a rather dull shirt on as well. She needs something a bit more elaborate, I think.
I'm sure you could help her with that, Dan.
Right. Okay.